Yo, what's going on, y'all? Welcome back again to the next portion of our Shopify tutorial. My name is Angelo from Cosmos Ink, and in this video, I'll be showing you all how to add your product to your Shopify website. So before we get into that, of course, I need y'all to do 3 things for me. Number 1, hit that subscribe button down below. That way you all will be notified whenever I post new content. After you do that, be sure to join our Facebook group, Sublimation Cove, where we talk about the topic of sublimation. And last but not least, I am the owner of Cosmos Ink. So if you need any type of sublimation ink or pigment ink for your business, hit that link down below and we'll get it sent out to you immediately. So the very first thing we want to do for this tutorial is when you log in, you're gonna be on your home page. So from here, you're gonna come over to your tabs over here on the left-hand side, click on products. And then when you get to products, make sure you have all products selected. It should automatically select that when you click on it. And then come down here to where it says add product. You don't have to worry about find products. That's something completely separate from what we're doing. So we'll just click on add product. And then here you go. So when dealing with your title, there's a few things that, well, really with any of this, there's a few things that I want y'all to do first. Number 1, research what you are going to offer. You need to know the dimensions of what you're selling, and you also need to know the weight of that item. And of course, you can know the name, but you're not gonna really copy the name like that. You're gonna be doing your own, coming up with your own title, coming up with your own description, so on and so forth. All right. Also, you want to make sure you have your pictures done, because this is where you're going to upload your product pictures at that people can scan through, and so on and so forth. So for us, we are going to start on the title. So for this, I want to put, let's see, first dance, wedding photo panel. And then I'm gonna do parentheses, and I'm gonna put a hardboard, and then parentheses. So this first section of the title, as you can see, I put first dance wedding photo, and I put it like that because the first dance part, that will link up with the SEO that we're trying to rank for, with the words that we're trying to rank for, how I did it earlier with the first dance song. And then after that, we have a wedding photo panel. So I'm gonna put song right here. All right, so yeah, first dance song, wedding photo panel, hardboard. And then after that, what I'm gonna do is a very, very useful technique that I have found out over time. You want all of your products to link back to your company name on Shopify. So for us, our company name is Forever Song. So that means for every product, I need to attach the word photo song to the title. However, I want to kind of separate it from the title so that way it looks more professional within the Google search engine. Every time somebody come across it, they'll read the blue line all the way through and be like, oh, that's from Forever Song. I'm gonna click on it because I know them. So in order to do that, what we have to do is hold the shift key on your keyboard and press the button that has a slash right next to your enter button or your return button. All right, so you hold shift, press that button, and then this line right here, it'll pop up. Once you do that, you're gonna press the space bar and you're gonna type out your company name. So for us, it's Forever Song. And then once you have that, we're gonna hold Alt and press 0153. And that'll give us our TM logo or our TM symbol that we, did earlier. All right. So once you have that, we're good. We have our first SEO that we're trying to cover, right there. Our first keyword right there. We have our second keyword right here. We have photo panel, which is what the item actually is. And then we have hardboard because there's multiple photo panels out there, but we're just specifying that this specific photo panel is hardboard. And then we put this line right here to separate the title of the item from the title of our store. And then after that, we put in the name of our store. So from there, we can move down to the description. So with the description, I highly, once again, I don't recommend this. I require this. please type out your own description. I see a lot of people that try to mimic other descriptions that are already out there. They'll copy and paste, or they'll pay for a list of descriptions from Etsy. They'll pay for a list of descriptions from Fiverr. Even if you're paying somebody else to come up with a custom description, it's going to be hard because you don't know if that description either came from a template or did they actually design that entire description from scratch. Did they write it out or type it out from scratch? So with that, the best way to get the best results for your products is to type out your entire description yourself. So for the sake of this video, I'm not gonna type it all the way out, period, but I'll give you a few hints with your description. So of course we are aiming for the SEO word first dance and the other SEO word wedding photo. So first dance song and wedding photo. So for first dance song, you want to have this, let's say 20 times in your description. And for wedding photos, you want to have this 20 times. Well, in my case, I want to have this 20 times in my description. All right. You don't have to have 2 words that you are trying to rank for. All right, period. You don't have to have 2 words that you're trying to rank for. You can have other words that you're trying to rank for as well based on the item, but whatever dominant word that you are trying to rank for, you need to make sure you have that word the most in your description. All right, especially if it's going to be like you're doing like 2 products, 3 products, maybe like 1 product. You want to dominate the market within that 1 product. Like it's just like clothes. Like I know I can go to all these different places for my clothes, but when it comes to my shoes, I know I'm going to Foot Locker. So you pretty much want to have your website and everything set up the same exact way. And what I mean by you want to have first dance song, or in my case, first dance song and wedding photos 20 times in the description, that means that you need to type out sentences, give people a real in-depth description and feel of what your product is. They need to be able to visualize the product just from reading your description and, getting hype, about your product just from reading what you typed out. This is also a good place to link any YouTube videos that you may have. You can put those down in your description. You can link other links, other websites down in your description, and so on and so forth. All right, so make sure you do that. Also, don't be afraid to use the bullet list. I recommend that as well. When it comes to formatting, you have all these different formats, and these are different sizes of your text. So for instance, if I highlight first dance song, I come up here and put paragraph. Well, it'll put in the paragraph format, but if I go down to heading, where is that? Heading one is what's called H1. So when you're going for SEOs, you'll have a bunch of different things, but you have a T, which is title, a M, which is your meta tag, and then you have your H1 all the way through your H6. So it's pretty much like a hierarchy deal when it comes to dealing with your SEO, and that's why you want to properly have your description typed out, but also select different headings that you have right here on your screen for your description. All right, so for instance, I could put what makes first dance wedding songs, why are we better than the competition, or what makes first dance wedding songs so special, and then I would type that out in like a heading 1 or a heading 2, and then I'll type out what I want to say about why it makes it so special. I'll click this and then go down to heading 4 or go down to heading 5 and then type it out. All right, so you really want this like typed out as much as possible, so that way Google can get a better understanding of what you're doing. And then if they ever do raise any red flags saying, hey, you're trying to sell something and it's not saying that in the description, it's saying something else, or people are typing in, you know, this SEO and your stuff is popping up and you're not saying that in your description and everything, they're gonna pull you lower down. They're gonna have you lower down in the rankings. All right. And also, don't get discouraged. Your ranking takes time. It takes time to go up within the ranks on Google. So I'm not going to type out the entire description right here. Let's go down. Next part is going to be media. So this is where you add your photos. All right. This is where you add your photos. So for us, I'm going to go here. I'm going to go to downloads. I'm going to select these three. I'm going to hit OK. And there we go. So these are the different photo panels that I want to offer to my visitors that come to my website. So right here we have this is the 6x6. This one is the 10x10, and the last one, this one is the 8x10. So I could take, for instance, this one, I can move this one right here. And whichever photo that you have right here, this is what's going to be your primary photo. So as soon as somebody click on this product, this photo is the primary one that shows first. And then when they scroll over, they start to see each other photo that you add in order as how you have it right here in this area. So for me, I want to click on this one and I want to go to add alt text. So alt text is pretty much the SEO words or the wording that you will add for this image to pop up within image search engines. So within Google, that's where you would, within Google, anything you put right here is going to be synced up with it. So for this particular one, what I recommend doing is copying the title right here. Control copy, click here on your photo, go here, hit Control V to paste it. But then I recommend going to, let's see. All right, we're good right there. Going to the end, hit a space bar, do parentheses, and then name your variant for this. All right, actually, I'm not gonna put it right there at the end. I'm gonna put it right here. So yeah, name your variant. So for this one, this is the 10x10. So we're gonna put set. There we go. We got our parentheses right here. We're gonna say 10x10. So then we're good. From here, we'll hit save alt text. And that's what it's going to come up as. So if anybody ever type in Forever Song on Google, once I get my rankings and everything up, when somebody type in Forever Song on Google, my website will pop up, but also when they click on the images portion, this image should pop up within those images, of course, as I climb the rankings within Google. So we are good with this one. And for now, I want to highlight this, copy this, and then we'll move on to the next one. So this one, we're going to add alt text. We're going to do Control V, but this one is not a 10x10 for that variant. This variant is a 6x6. So we're going to go here, replace 10x10 with 6x6. Hit save alt text, exit out. Then we're going to go to the last one and do the same thing. Add alt text, Control V. And this one is a 8x10. Hit save alt text and then X. So now we have these pretty much done all the way for the media. So next thing we want to do after that is we want to go to the next one. Also, you can drag and drop your media into here as well, as long as it's, within your photos, wherever it's at, just drag and drop it in. So after that, before we get down to pricing, we're just gonna do that. So next up is going to be our pricing. So when you get down here, this is going to be the standard pricing. Let's say if you only have one item, right? If you only have one variant, this is going to be the pricing of your standard variant. However, if you have multiple variants, this where it says price, when somebody goes to your website, whatever you list here, that will show as the starting price. So for instance, if I say the starting price is $30, and then when I come down to variants down here, and I start to add variants, of course, it'll say, hey, the starting price is, $30. And when they get on there and they start going through them, of course, the price is going to go up because I can set a price for each individual variant. All right. After that, you have compare at price. This will pretty much show the regular price that, whatever you want to list it at, and then you have the price over here. So for instance, this price, you can say, hey, it's normally $40. So it'll show $40 and it'll put a red slash through it. And then over here, it'll show the real price that you put, which is $30. So you're pretty much, I'm not gonna say tricking people. You are using a marketing tactic when you do that. All right. After that, you come down here to cost per item. Your customers won't see this, but I do recommend putting this in there because, of course, it'll let you know your profit margin and your profit. So for instance, let's say if this costs, I don't know, let's say it costs $5, right? They're saying your profit margin is 83%, and your profit is $25, which is, very good. It's a very good profit. All right. And honestly, it's more than 83%, to be honest. All right. So after that, you can come down here where it says charge tax on this product. I do recommend, you charge tax on this product. I never recommend unchecking this because they're automatically going to pull that tax or not pull that tax depending on how you have it set up earlier in our other video. So come down here to inventory. So SKU, you have your SKU and you have your barcode. With this, since we're doing custom printing items, you don't necessarily have to have a SKU or a barcode. If you are doing like a more permanent item, like, hey, this is what it is, and it's going inside a box and you're doing mass distributions of it, like you have your own headphone company, then yes, you would need a barcode and stuff, but we'll not have to worry about that. We'll just skip through that. Next up, track quantity. Yes. Continue selling when out of stock. Never, in my eyes, never check this unless it is a digital download. Once again, never check this unless it's a digital download. And even if it is a digital download, you need to make your quantity down here 9,999. Make it as much as possible. So then that way you don't have to keep coming in here and redoing it. And the last thing you want is for this to hit 0, but then you still have continued selling when out of stock on digital download. Because honestly, I don't know what's going to happen. All right. So we'll just leave this unchecked. All right. For quantity, for this particular item, this boils down to how many you are going to have on stock, like in hand. I'm highly against doing buy-ins and selling items that I don't have in my hands because anything can happen outside of your control. So for us, let's say I have 20 on hand. I'm gonna just say 20. And yes, this is the physical product. Use calculators, and for the weight after that, it says use to calculate shipping rates at checkout and label prices during fulfillment. So this is very important. And I always recommend leaving this on ounces. Please make sure, and I can show you guys real quick. It's around here. Here you go. Go on Amazon and get you a scale. All right. When you start selling your products, of course, you're gonna have to know how much they weigh, and also depending on how big your product is, that will also determine what size scale you need. But these items that I'm selling, they're not gonna be that big, so I can just get a little scale like this off of Amazon, turn it on, Gotta hold it still, and then I can press the these zeros right here, and it can change from pounds and ounces to, actually not that button, this one on the side, it can change to just ounces right there. So then I can weigh my item, and then I'll type in the weight right here. So let's just say an item weighs 13.5 ounces. After that, come down to customs information used by border officers to calculate duties when shipping internationally, shown on customs forms you print during fulfillment. This is only if you are going to be shipping stuff outside of your region. So for me, since I'm in the United States, of course, I'm gonna be shipping to all 50 states here. But if I want to sell, these items to people in Australia, or I want to sell it to people in Ghana, this right here, this right here is the country of origin. So for us, it's the United States. So it shows on the thing that, hey, it came from the USA. And then after that, down here for the harmonized system code, you have to do the research on that. I'm not going to go through that whole process. That's pretty much, this harmonization system code is pretty much a number that is assigned to a specific item, and that number is recognized throughout a worldwide database. So no matter who has that number around the world, they're able to type that in and be like, okay, this falls underneath this category, so we know how to properly tax this item and know how to come up with the right amount of duties that the person may owe on this item when it arrives in this country for them. All right. So and once again, this part up here, it says in most cases where the product is manufactured. So for this particular item, I just got to contact my vendor to see, hey, where was this item manufactured at? They'll let me know, and then I can do it. I can change it from this point. So scroll down to variants. So it says this product has multiple variants, like different sizes or colors. So for this option, I can come down here to options. I can go to size, and I can say, okay, we have a, let's see our size options. We have we have the smallest one, which is the 6x6. So I put 6 inches by 6 inches, comma. And every time you add a comma, it'll move on to the next line and treat that as a as one variant. So the next one up is going to be, let's see, 8x10. Yep, so we can do 8 inches by 10 inches, hit enter. And then the next one after that is going to be 10x10. We can do 10 inches up by 10 inches. So when you get down here, like I said earlier, we did the quantity, but that was just for that one. And when we did that $30 earlier, it listed all of them at $30. However, in our case, each individual item is going to not cost $5 for us to make it. It's going to cost different prices. So with that means we need to increase our prices accordingly. So the 6x6 is $30. The 8x10, I want to make that $35, and the 10x10, I want to make that $40. And once again, each variant, we're not doing SKUs and barcodes in this video, but each variant needs its own SKU or barcode if you are selling your own branded item. All right. Same thing with your barcode. So we'll scroll down, and then we'll get down here to the bottom where it says search engine listing preview. So we're going to go to edit, web SEO, and pretty much this is how it's going to show up in the search engines on Google, on Yahoo, on whatever search engine that you're using. They're going to have your title right here, which is the same title that we put in earlier up here for this product. And then underneath that, you're going to have the URL that goes directly to this listing. And then underneath that, you are going to have your product description. So if you have a really, really lengthy product description, it's going to show as many characters as it can down here, up to 320 characters. And then after that, it's just going to have the 3 dots. And then the only way they can see the rest is if they come, if they click on the link and come to your site to see your listing and go to the description. But in our case, we are able to edit this description. This is where things can get very interesting. You can edit this to be completely almost anything that you want people to see within the search engine. So you can say number one photo panel recommended for newlyweds. And then after that, you can put scannable QR code will play your first dance song. And then I can hold what was I held earlier? I can hold shift and press that key next to our keyboard. Next to enter, and then press spacebar on the keyboard. And then you can put your, your rating, 4.9 out of 5 stars, and then hold shift and press that button again. Just keep stacking stuff on top of that. All right, so you definitely want to make your description down there as appealing as possible. And as you can see from our title and our company name, along with the TM, it looks extremely professional. So that way, people will be like, oh, it definitely looks like a trusted site. I'm gonna click on it and then they come into your website. Down here, you have the URL and handle. Don't change anything in there. Leave it exactly the way it is. Once you start changing stuff like this, it can change other things down the line. For instance, if you were to post up your listing inside other places, like let's say the different Facebook groups, or if you were to post that URL on somebody else's website, or they were to post on somebody's website, or somebody was able to share it or whatever, once you change this URL, it cancels all that other stuff that you shared. So I do not recommend choosing this. All right, if somebody click on that link, that's what's gonna happen when it pops up and say, hey, you got a 404 error or page cannot be found. A lot of times it's because somebody came in here and they changed that URL down there. So don't touch. All right. So we'll scroll back up to the top and we'll go ahead and come down here to organization. So organization, this is how everything is going to be organized on your site, especially dealing with your collections area, which we'll cover in a minute. All right. So product type, let's put a photo panel. And then go ahead and click this button right here to add that word. So when you add that word, when you go back and you create another listing, you can just simply click on this box, click on this button right here, and then it'll give you a drop down of everything that you've added so far to the product type, as we just did when we click that plus sign. So vendor, honestly, you don't have to put your vendor right here. You can definitely just put your company name. I recommend not putting that, especially if you want to protect where you get your stuff from, as far as your vendors and all that stuff, and you don't want people doubling behind you and trying to undercut you and trying to do all the shady backdoor business that they be trying to do. You don't have to put that there. And also the vendor part is not going to show that to your customer. However, it will show that to your employees or anybody else who has the backdoor access to your Shopify site, specifically to your products. After that, let's go to collections. And we're going to talk about that in a minute, but pretty much what collections is, let's say I have a bunch of different photo panels. I can make a collection to where I can add all those photo panels that I do offer, all those photo panel listings, into that collection of photo panels. And then let's say if I want to offer coffee mugs, or I want to offer drinkware, and that consists of coffee mugs, tumblers, I think they're called Stein glasses or something like that. you can add all of that stuff to that collection of drinkware and so on and so forth. All right. So for now, we don't have any collections, but of course, we're going to cover that in the next video. So after that, we'll come down here to tags. And for tags, I'm going to tag this as photo panel. And I'm going to click add. So you can add as many tags down here that I know of. You can add as many as possible. I can also add hardboard. What else? And I can add, a couple other ones, but the main one is going to be photo panel. And that's extremely important. And you'll see why when I get into the collections portion of the next video. All right. So now that we have all of that done, let's see. So yep, we have all that done. What we do now from here is just click the save button in the upper right hand corner. And now it is saved. All right. And then once you hit that save button, we can take it a step further. So once I hit that button, you can see right here where it just added this photo box, right? So these pictures that we uploaded up here, I'm able to assign each picture with its corresponding variant. I highly recommend this because when somebody clicks on a drop down menu to select that particular variant, you may want your pictures to change to reflect that. So for us, for the 6x6, that is going to be, I believe this one. Let's double check to make sure. Nope, it's going to be this one. So for the 6x6, I'm going to click this box and I'm going to click on her and click done. So this picture is now assigned to her. For the 8x10, that one should be, yep, is this one with the woods. Hit done. And then for the 10x10, it's the big one that we have right here. And hit done. And then we'll hit save. After that, we're going to come up here to more actions. We're going to click on preview. And it'll open up another tab for you to preview it. And there it is. This is our official listing. And this is how it will look to the customers. So also when I come right here to size, I'll click on size, I'll click on 8x10. And as you can see, it automatically changed the picture over here to our next picture, which is corresponding with the 8x10. And it also showed the price update for that variant, which was $35. After that, we're going to click on the size again, come down to 10x10, and it does the same thing. It went to the corresponding picture, and it also updated the price as well for this item. So when I go to 6x6, of course, it's saying add to cart because that's the one where we added the quantity of 20. And then if I go down to 8x10, of course, that's saying sold out because we didn't change that quantity for that variant. And same thing with the 10x10, we didn't change the quantity for that variant. All right. So we'll just hit X on this. If you want to change the quantity, scroll back down to the variant and you can adjust the quantity for each individual variant right here. So once you get your description, you get everything done, double check, triple check, you be like, okay, I like it, I'm ready to roll. You come over here to where it says product status and you change from draft to active. And then you hit save. And now people can officially view this on your website if your site is active. All right. Same thing with your sales. Well, not same thing, but you have your sales channels right here. You can click on manage. And remember over here where it says sales channels online store, if we were to add other channels over here, you can sell this item. Well, you can choose which sales channel you want to offer this item on. So far, we only have it for online stores. So that's what we're going to offer it on. So we hit done. You can also schedule the availability of when you want this product to be available to your customers. So you can select various dates and collect schedule availability, and then it'll be available on that specific date. So let's see. That is pretty much it. If you want to ever delete the product, of course, you come down here to delete the product. If you want to archive the product, you can do that as well. Archiving it, I believe, will just hide it from people, and then you can always, recover it. All right, but if you delete it, you cannot recover it. So just make sure that is what you want to do. So that is pretty much it. I'm not gonna say that pretty much it. That is it. So from here, we just hit the back button. It'll refresh our product page, and then there we go. All right. So that is it. We'll go back to the home page, and that's it for the products portion of our Shopify series. And that's it, of course, just for this video. I will see you all in the very next video. And once again, my name is Angelo from Cosmos Ink. Make sure you hit that subscribe button down below. After you do that, be sure to join our Facebook group, Sublimation Cove. And after you do that, be sure to check us out at cosmosink.com, where if you need any type of sublimation ink or pigment ink for your business, just order it from there and we'll get it sent out to you. All right. So I will see you all in the very next video within our series. Angelo out.